Hello there, welcome back to my tarot channel. Let's take a look at the total tarot. Finally found the word, people. It's periodicals, I think. Maybe I haven't found the word. I think it's periodicals. So periodicals 32, 33. Would that be correct instead of episodes, magazines? I'm not sure. Collection. So it has come with a spare binder. So I now have a third binder. So that'll be the third one in my collection to collect all of this. I have my 2 cards. So we have the 8s for the Golden Art Nouveau. Obviously, this is the collector's edition, as you can see from the size of a standard tarot deck. They are bigger. Should I do that? So they are bigger. That's why. They are the collectibles. And did I say the 8 Pentacles and the 8 of Swords to go in with the rest of my deck? And these ones are undamaged, unkinked. A slight bow, but nothing that a book might not take out. So those are ready. I've opened the deck, taken all the polythene off and popped it in the box, because you've seen me open and assemble these plenty of times in the earlier videos for this collection. And as I said, we have 32 and 33. The binder comes like this. So flat packed, you can open it up. There's your hooks. As I've said before, I snap these out. I take them out of these, so show you, and I just put them in to place. They are a bit fiddly. This is why I do it all in advance. And then to keep them safe, I just hook them into where they belong, top and bottom, ready to go. Then I can just add my magazines, and then I haven't lost them. There's no worry about not being able to find them, and that just bends into place quite easily. A little bit of massaging, and then it just falls into place. You have to excuse my dogs, they're coming in and out at the moment. And there we are. Now I don't need that one just yet, because I thought it'd come early. I still have space for 6 magazines or 3 more periodicals to go into here. So it's a little bit ahead of itself for me, but that's okay. Take a look at the magazines, starting with 32. And we are doing numerology, working with numbers. Obviously, this is Tarot Marseille, came with parts or periodicals 8 and 9. So I have this deck. I don't think I've worked with it because I have other formats basically, so I haven't worked with one specifically in this collectible. We have some simple text. Let's talk about some simple techniques. Using the numerical values of the arcana in tarot readings can be surprisingly revealing. So I have heard people using people's birthdays and creating the arcana card that's needed for that, and then using that as a signifier for the person when they're doing a reading. It might be what this is talking about, I'm not sure. I'm only saying that because I'm just spying out the corner of my eye here. A person who was born on July 20th, 1964 will have the High Priestess as their birth card. So, excuse me. Squeaky pages. And then we have more here then, so it's going more into the numerological aspects. We have some advanced methods. Quintessence. To unearth the quintessence for the key theme of a reading, readers add the value of the cards used in the spread. I have heard of people doing that. I don't think I've done that. I might have done it many moons ago, but I don't think I do it anymore. Sort of like counting your numbers as you go through. We have some more down here on numerological values. So major arcana cards have the numbers ranging from 0 to 21, as we understand, and obviously it makes 22 cards in total. Sometimes the Fool can be considered as number 22 rather than 0, while the number cards range from 1 to 10. The court cards are not numbered. Many readers also then give them numerical associations of 11, 12, 13 and 14. And that's all we've got down there. Intensity and polarity. The 8 of Cups is interpreted as an important and positive emotional event, while the 3 of Wands is seen as a negative action of little importance. Oh. That's an interesting insight to be reading without reading the rest of the text, completely out of context. We have our 10 of Cups, in-depth card in detail. And as I said before, that's from the Radiant Wise Spirit deck. That is the study deck that came with parts 1 and 2 of this, or was it parts 1 and 2, or 2 and 3? Parts 1, 2 and 3 all came together in the subscription, so they arrived all at the same time. We have other versions of the Ten of Cups. So I'm just looking here. So we have the Fey Tarot deck with the Ten of Cups, and it does tell us actually on the bottom some of the meanings that they assign to this. So Ten of Cups for the Fey Tarot is finding that special connection. I do like that, sat in the beautiful goblet there with the rainbow back to back, and it's kind of like elemental with the opposing colours. Here we have the John Bower Tarot, where it is that kind of feeling loved. With our Pagan Tarot, we have perfect shared harmony. And that's really nice. You can see that there with everyone in their circle. Cups held high, the rainbow of multicolours in the background. Actually quite a big rainbow. We have pets here. Is that a cat and a dog possibly? We have a child as well. With the Universal Celtic Tarot, it represents being part of nature. So you have them sat with all the beautiful cups there in the tree. So it's almost like the tree of life, isn't it? With the sort of green man aspect there in the tree. And then the two sat beneath the tree and in amongst the roots and the shelter of the tree. With the Nefertari Tarot, we have bliss being shown. And in our Lo Scarabeo Tarot, we have convergence. The Thelema Tarot, we see joy of family within that one. So we have this depicted by the swans and obviously the water there with the cups, and you have cups overarching there and fairy tale castle in the background. And with the Shaman Tarot, it's kind of self-healing with that 10 of Cups, and you just see nurturing. I would have said that's kind of nurturing your lower chakras, but maybe that's a heart. With the green plant, that's definitely healing, isn't it? There's sort of a, mind you, yeah, that love, perhaps it's pink, maybe my eyesight's degrading. And we have the Dragon Breath Spread, perfect for the Tarot Draconis. So 5-card layout, as you can see, it's beautifully represented like this. I like that. I'm such a magpie. Dragon's Breath Spread, perfect for bringing along neglected or even forgotten dream or wish to light. You use the major arcana only for this, okay. Identifying your neglected goal and understanding how it can be achieved. 3 cards are placed in descending steps. 4th card is placed as a barrier, and the 5th card on the other side of the barrier. So here's your obstacle, I'm guessing, that you have to overcome. Just reading intuitively into what they might be doing here. Or no, they're calling the 4th card the weapon. The 2nd step involves making sure that the querent finds the weapon, a skill, an attitude, a talent. So maybe it's the item that you need to overcome said obstacle. Then we have some information here on the Draconis, and we have the major arcanas and their meanings on this one. So let's just take a look at the sun and what it means in this one. I don't think we have either of them there. No, we don't. Losing control, the forces of darkness withdraw when faced with creatures of the light, commanded by the might of the white dragon. The dark side has been absorbed and an entire world is renewed, singing its joy. Okay, then we have our minor arcanas and the meanings there. And our pictorial key in the back. Moving on to number 33. So, reading the court cards, the court diagram, receptiveness, experience, assertiveness, potential. So the page, I'm going to guess, I'm going to wing this, I've not seen this before. The page is in the corner of potential and receptiveness. The Queen is receptive with experience, the King is experience with assertiveness, and the Knight is potential with assertiveness. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? In practice, receptiveness is the way a person adapts to the environment and learns from and listens to others. This attitude is associated with change. The Page and the Queen are linked by this attribute. There we go. So yeah, that is quite straightforward then. What do we have here? Court card attributes, potential, receptiveness, assertiveness, and experience. So that's just showing us again, is it, how they are linked? So this is our page symbol, our knight symbol, our queen symbol, and our king symbol. Oh, and we have Tarot of the Elves for parts 52 and 53. There are a lot of fairy tale spreads, I'm noticing. Decks coming through. We have the key to the court cards here, thematics. We are talking about the Page of Cups, because obviously we did the 10 of Cups previous. Then we go with our Page of Cups. And here we are in our court diagram. And some of the other Cups cards are... Actually, let's just read that first, shall we? What the card shows. There's a Page of Cups has a dreamy, youthful personality. The sweet child of cups reflects all the soft and intuitive parts of your own psyche. It is moments of being carried away by the wonder of your own imagination, listening to music, reading a beautiful book, or watching an incredible film. It is feeling young and free, and above all things, feeling what is possible. The card speaks of psychic visions and imagination, games. Gaze deeply, be artistic and gentle, open your mind. And we have the Daydreamer from the Universal Fantasy Tarot, the Pagan Tarot with the water element. I'm just seeing, so we have the After Tarot coming up before we get to the end of the 30s. We have our Fae Tarot. This is a Tarot of the Pagan Cats. There's our Marseille, the Shaman Tarot, and the Universal Celtic. Do you know, I use that deck quite a bit with my grimoire, ancestral grimoire. Well, it's the deck I use for my ancestral grimoire, and I haven't seen that card. Just goes to show, isn't it? You can have a deck and you can shuffle and shuffle and shuffle, and not all cards are for you. So it's one that I don't really get. Okay, so the Dragon's Breath Part 2, and here we have a walkthrough of the cards and the deck. The weapon in this case was the moon. I'm just curious to know what exactly that means. Mystery and illusion. So they put the keywords for this moon as in dreams, cycles, unconscious, fantasy, imagination, romanticism, deception. The moon is the weapon. The card represents Johnny's unbridled imagination. Instead of worrying so much about technique or stylistic perfection in the early stages of the writing process, he should give to the creative impulse and pleasure and let his thoughts run freely into words. So I'm guessing the spread was based on somebody called Johnny who wants to write a book or do some creative writing. You could easily give that a different word to weapon though, I think. But yeah, if you've got this, have a go. What do we have here? Instinct versus reason, ID, ego, and superego. Very hard things to overcome, especially if you're stuck in your ego. Like, how do you come out of it? Really, really difficult, I must say. Even when you think you've come out of it, are you doing it because you're still being ego-led? Interesting concept. Literary, intermediary, tarot rivals, big questions, Book of Thoth, 7x7, dictionary definition. So the Tarot Forefathers, Court de Gabelin, Part 2. So a French scholar reveals his theory that the game of tarot was based on an ancient Egyptian book. Okay, so this is where the Egyptian theory comes into it. And there are two camps for this, I've noticed. One is, yes, this is the only way tarot came about, and the other one is, no, it's not, it was made up. It was a game system for the Italian families years and years ago, starting with the Visconti Sforza, and had absolutely nothing to do with this. This has then been later layered into it because it fitted quite nicely, but it was never the original creation. Not my personal thoughts and feelings, just two of the camps that are out there. I don't know which one I sit in. I swing between the two. So one minute I'm like, yes, definitely it's this. And I'm like, no, actually I can see why it's this. No, back to this one, it's definitely this. But there are some beautiful ornate pip decks that come from the kind of Middle East part of the world. And I think they may have been linked more into this Egyptian side of divination, possibly just because somebody was talking about it and I thought that made a lot more sense to me than anything else has so far. I can't remember if it was Kelly Fitz at Truth and Story or if it was Sadhana, on Sadhana's healing. Oh, and I can't remember the rest of her channel name. That's really naughty of me because I've just been there watching interviews with Emily Carding. Sadhana's integrative healing. Yeah. So you can pop over to those channels and see if you can find the videos, because they're going to be hidden deep, because I just like, run them off and play them. Anyway, then we have our visual reference for the minor arcana, and we can see instantly that these are in colours. So we have blue for the cups. Pentacles has got a very kind of green feel. One's got definite red feel, and the swords has a grey feel. So interesting. And next we have the Tarot of the Angels. I think that will be my first Tarot Angel deck ever. Okay, let's go to the cards, because that was enough talking. So as you know, it comes in a tuck box. These boxes come flat packed like this. And what you do is you just pop them up and they kind of snap into place. So here's our deck. These are the backs. Standard low Scarabeo cardstock. I personally really like it. I know lots of people, again, as I say, that Marmite love-hate relationship with this. Let's bring you down a tiny bit. Starting there, so the back, you get, your 2 cards with this. It's got a back card. Because the deck comes in 2 halves, it doesn't quite pull together exactly. But I can't say I've found this to become a problem when I'm working with the decks, if I'm being honest. Now then, this is a deck that I probably, again, wouldn't have put into my collection, so it's going to be interesting to see. It's interesting to see when they come into my collection, if I ever go back to pick them up. And so far, a couple have surprised me, and I have. Fairy Tarot being one of them. And that'll be in my March reviews, so you can go back and see my March journaling reviews, and it's in there. So here we have our Fool. The cards are numbered. We don't have names on them. So if you're not familiar with tarot, you might need your pictorial guide to go through these. But if you know what they are, or you could even get a little black Sharpie and write them onto the gold sections there at the bottom if you wanted to. So obviously our Magician. I don't know if you really want me to go through talking all these out. Your High Priestess, your Empress, and your Emperor. You've got 2 different coloured dragons, and they're in different coloured, kind of opposing each other, aren't they? Opposites. One's in day, one's in night. Our Hierophant. Wouldn't you love to learn from a dragon? Here's our Lovers. Chariot. Justice is in 8. You can see that with the scales and sword there underneath the rock. Our Hermit. And our Wheel. And then we have Strength. Hanged One. Card 13. Temperance. That's interesting with all the colours for the alchemical. Here we have our Devil. One very angry dragon. Tower. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Stars. So that's like the Emperor and Empress dragons coming back to back, isn't it? Our Moon. Our Sun. Judgment. And the World. So the World, we see the Fool hatching. Okay. So we're into the blue. So these are our cups, and these do have a symbol at the bottom and again number at the top. So that gives it away. So we'll just quickly go through these. And that is the dragon's head, kind of giving out breath or receiving breath, however you want to see that. So we have humans for the courts. And we have different symbols. So I'm guessing this is our page, or you could call that princess. So this is our prince, aka knight. Here's our queen symbol. And the king, queen on the throne, of course. And then our king crown symbol. And pentacles. So the aces have got, I'm going to call it dragon's breath energy. So page, knight has another horse. So queen next to our king, so they're from the same environment. In fact, possibly sat either side of the same tree, or back to back. So our essence of the suit. Don't get any more of a barrier than that one, do you? I wondered how they were going to depict the 8. Page, another white horse for the knight. There's our queen, and king. And then we're on to our swords. This one has a more kind of alien feel to it, I think, just because of the colour palette. Ouch. Dragon dancing on the wall. 8. 9. So these are very different to the Radiant Wise Spirit. 10. That one's quite interesting as well, isn't it? The dragon's almost a gargoyle. And then we have our page, and our knight, our queen, and our king. Now I'm just really curious, so please indulge me. I don't know if you're also thinking the same thing. I just want to see what's going on here with these court cards. Thought so. Can you see what I'm seeing? They are the same person, it's the same face. Can you see that? She's just got a different hairdo. I hope you can see that. But yeah, it's interesting. I know people talk about this a lot in digital decks, but I mean the king and the page are particularly. the same person. Now, that could throw you, or perhaps we're looking at that as, yes, it's the same person, but they're embodying the different elements at the different times that they need them. Because, of course, when you're doing the deck, we're often talking to ourselves or a querent, and we're going through the stage of life that we're in. If we were using the court cards as energies, it would make sense then, if we're going to talk about that being that person, it would make sense to then have the same face features going through. But then you could take that one step further, couldn't you? And you could expect it to be the same person in all of the court suits. So it should really be the same depiction throughout the whole lot, not different people. Does that make sense? Just my random thoughts right now as I'm playing with the deck. Just trying to shuffle it up a little bit, see if we get a card. Hopefully nothing difficult. Because, you know, there are a lot of different depictions in this one. But it's always interesting to see off the bat how it goes. So let's just take a card for the Easter weekend. Today is Saturday. What have we got? We've got a jumper. The Magician. So the magic is within you. So you have what you need today to make the day count, to do what you need to do and achieve what you need to achieve. So you have the elements within you. I'm going to say, because it's Saturday, it's bank holiday weekend for us, let's go outside and enjoy the elements. Let's connect with them. I know it's going to rain tomorrow, so today's probably a good day to get out there and enjoy some of the sunshine and perhaps get your fingers in the garden, go for a walk, enjoy some nature, but bring it in, and why not take people with you and have a chat on the way, communicate. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. That is the Draconis Tarot deck from Scarabeo, published by Byline Publishing with the Total Tarot collections. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.